Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Election is tomorrow, so we're fully in the thick of it. In fact, there's technically the TVC 2023 elections studio is, strictly speaking, quite open, and you'll be finding out as we go along that there's going to be, a sort of a marathon broadcast. You know how we do. As long as it takes, you'll be seeing a whole relay chain of anchors, reporters, guests, analysts, and that kind of a thing. In fact, one of them, I have one of them here. I was able to get, tear one of them away, Wale Ogunade. Wale Ogunade, a legal practitioner and human rights activist, is president of Voters Awareness Initiative. It's a long-standing NGO. We're delighted to have you, Wale. Good morning to you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what do we now say? So far, so good.
And anybody will not try to buga.
No. Well, actually, when you look at the way preparations are,
Yes.
just talk to me a bit about preparations. I know it's all over the country, but in Lagos, southwest of the country, where we're broadcasting from, there have been pictures circulating of a show of security force. A show of security force.
Yes.
Say, let nobody try it. Let nobody try anything untoward. Well, that's on the security side. And that's really, the nucleus of what we want to talk about, rampant insecurity and credible 2023 elections. What's your take on that? Do you trust the authorities and their efforts, their preparations, that they've done enough to see us through this election?
Yeah. Buhari came in through a peaceful election.
That's right.
After suffering in the hands of Obasanjo messed him up, but a Jonathan, a pure civilian, died that, the blood of a Nigerian or his continuance in office is not worth the blood of a Nigerian. To that essence, he encouraged and ensured a peaceful transition. And Buhari was a benefactor. And I watched him 3 days ago or 2 days ago when he was at the Peace Accord meeting. He gave his word and, of course, immediately held a meeting with the security people. And, of course, I saw them again because I was part of those who held a briefing. We observers that had briefing with the INEC and with the security people. When I was in school, there's a group called the Panwandrikas Club, and I belonged to it. And there was somebody who is called a chief. They will say, Chief Emma Hule, Lokoko, and so on. And they will say, no, Keke must care. When he says that there is authority, the man has nothing. He's just a chief, but of course, it was fun. Here too, the military and all the security agents have told any troublemaker, no Keke must care. Yes. You see, in Yoruba Palace, they will say the parents should tell their children that they should put their hands of trouble in their pocket.
Yes.
So we don't want anybody. If you have no business voting, stay in your house. Don't go out carrying a pin. If they have security gadgets, that's the security people. They have gadgets that will identify anything that is apart from your voter's card. The only instrument that will be with you tomorrow is your voter's card. Indeed. And maybe your phone. Indeed. Which, again, you have to drop before you go into the...
That's right. Because we've heard of devices that were cooked up before, where they tell you that... in fact, I've even seen some funny, postings online. Say, at least you will go in there with your phone. So photograph what you have voted.
You are not
You're not doing that.
It's not possible. It's not going to be allowed.
It's uncanny. As the authorities, as INEC continues to work around the clock to do what it... And INEC is not alone. There are many other people as well who are just working for the success of this election. And to now think of the extent to which some of us, unfortunately, will go, is it to frustrate it or to just mess things up a bit? But in any case, what the authorities seem to be saying is that we're match for it. If whatever anybody wants to come up with, we advise don't do it. So there's that sense in which even they got to the level of the elections will be postponed. They won't have, no, INEC said, forget all that kind of nonsense. The election will hold. So this is, from what you have seen, you concur that there's nothing much. I'm happy you even went back to when Buhari was his own election. That he came in a peaceful election. Yeah, there might be tension. Tension doesn't mean violence. You know, apprehension, anxiety, all of that. It goes with an election, and we can expect all of that. But by and large, TVC will be on it right through, as you know. But we expect, all other things being equal, for there to be a straightforward election. Now, what are the things we should be looking out for? INEC, for instance, has told us already that, look, in the instance of you can't find your what is that name? Your PVC. It doesn't mean you can still find out where your polling station is. Yes. You like all those arrangements?
Obviously. It helps the system, it encourages people, and of course, it wants to harvest as many voters as possible. And don't forget, we are in the era of technology. If you lie, the system will not lie.
So things are a lot different from earlier elections, from previous elections.
In 1999 now, when one piece of paper is a piece of paper that the electoral man will sign, bam, then he will sign. And of course, from that in 2009, in 2003, people were busy snatching ballot boxes because once they have stopped it, they will take it from one point to the other. We have passed all those stages now. This one now is technology-driven with the introduction of BVAS. You have you're already captured in the system. You go there, you present, I'm Wale Ogunade, whereas I'm Yoli Folari. I say, I'm Wale Ogunade. No problem. They will just bring out the thing. Put your finger, it will match. Because God passed everybody.
So that really...
that fingerprint is unique to you alone. So if anybody wants to use your own name, it can match the fingerprint.
So it shows that INEC, through the ages, has improved leaps and bounds.
And I'll use this
different
opportunity.
Administrations of INEC right upon
I'll use this opportunity to really appreciate the international partners. And really, they have no choice anyway, because a crisis-ridden Nigeria cannot accommodate anywhere in the world. Not West Africa, not Africa, not even Europe. They cannot accommodate us. So it's better we have peace in Nigeria.
Exactly. I think it was, we know it ourselves, but I think it was the U.S. consulate who was saying, they have spoken. I think the UK has also spoken, looking out for its nationals here. But if anything were to happen in Nigeria, it would have... it would have impact, on the continent
or the political language, bandwagon.
Who can accommodate us? I mean, we are the most populous. So which country is it that is going to? So that is why we thank God that we have people who are working on it. But you see, when we come to insecurity, there's so many aspects to it. On the other level, there's the upfront insecurity of fear for life and limb. The aspect of insecurity. That other aspect of insecurity where you were talking about manipulating the system, that's one. I want us to also go to the, terrorists, anarchists and that kind of thing. But before then, Rukia has called in from the UK. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. It's Aisha, not Rukia.
I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. Aisha, good morning.
Good morning. This is my first time of calling in.
Oh, we're delighted to have you. We don't do that, but I did a silent one.
I was looking at your hand, so I copied you.
Welcome, Aisha. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to bring to your notice and to the notice of my fellow learned colleagues there, if this information that I just saw this morning is true. Because my sister, she posted on her status that there is a website you can go to. If you don't have your PVC, you can go on that website, put in your details. It will generate a kind of form for you, like a printer.
But what she was talking about, in fact, Wale is just checking that out now. Because yes, it is factual But okay, Wale has. But
yes, it's true. It's true. You said it earlier on.
Yes,
it's true. I just want to get the name www.inecvs or something.
So that's
is booting.
So that's what Aishat was talking about. That a sister had said that this, and she wanted to sort of verify that information, and we can say that indeed that is the case. In fact, that this has come up as a question. We will have all those details, because we were told those details by INEC themselves. And if you were to go on the INEC website, I'm sure you'd find a link there somewhere. But even as we're speaking, we'll probably voice the URL of that particular website. But do I have someone else? Ada in Jos.
Hello.
Good morning, Ada.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Mr. Yori?
Very clearly. We can hear you well.
Okay, because it's what I hear. Good morning to your guests. I'm calling from Jos Plateau State. Anyway, tomorrow is the D-Day now.
Yes.
The political class should not see election as a do or die affair. They should imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship. INEC should be an unbiased umpire to reduce the number of litigations that may arise. It should also ensure its staff don't get involved in any shoddy actions that could compromise the efficacy of BVAS. The judiciary on its part should be fair in its judgment. They should realize that justice has no color, justice is life. We cannot develop as a nation without the rule of law. Then the security agency should be non-partisan. Above all, the electorate, including myself, we should conduct ourselves well. We should shun money politics for immediate gratification. We should not allow politicians to use us as thugs, especially the youth. I'm optimistic that votes will count this time around. Refusing to vote is not a protest, it's a surrender. I heard some people say that they won't go to vote because they are hungry. If the hunger that did not kill you today, you need to vote that it will kill you. Go out there and vote. Because you remember when Igine was there, I asked him for any other alternative listing when I told him that my website is not open for that particular listing. I tried it again and it opened, but it didn't give you the reply up to now.
Okay.
So now another INEC official gave us a number. I don't know if you are aware of the number. So I tried this number and it works now. That is 09062830860. Then the second number is the same, but it ends with 1. That is, repeat, 09062830861. You now SMS, that is text your state, your surname, and the last 6 digits of your voter identification number. That is your V.
That's right.
So that's the number I gave you now. Once you text it to it, it will just reply immediately and give you a polling unit. I text it, and I'm so happy I did. If not, I would have had problems tomorrow because they are now splitting it. If it's more than about more than 770 or so, they will put you in another polling unit. But it might be in the same place, like in my it's an estate. If I didn't check, if I didn't do what I did now, what I'm telling you now, I would have gone to the where I went to before, and I would be there maybe 2-3 hours, and then I will now discover it's not my unit. So people should endeavor to do that, those that have not done it.
Thank you.
Let's go out and vote. It shall be well with us.
Thank you very much for calling in, Ada, and so helpful. As I said, we have spoken about this before. My bad. Perhaps we should have had that URL link ready. But as we speak now, producers hopefully are actually clattering away at their keyboards and to bring it out. But in the meantime, Ada has come to the rescue. She's provided a number that says works because she has used it when it appeared that some aspect of the INEC website wasn't functioning the way it should be. All websites do that from time to time. You switch them off, restart, and they're back to order. But she gave us the she gave us the number 0906. You got that? That's the first four. 0906 283, and then 0860 as well as 0861. Those two websites, those two phone numbers. She said they're sort of automated. You call them in and you get a sort of a directional link.